You're cutting off, unfortunately. Not sure if that's because of the noise suppression or something else.
Hello, hello.
Hello. So you were saying?
No, CL said something in chat.
Oh, is she here again? Like, how does she always make it to this stream?
No, the reason I'm asking you is if you can just put it, then I can put it in the servers and say that we're talking and we're live.
Oh, dude, speaking of screens, I really need to buy a new monitor because I never turned off notifications. Yeah, you should do that, Xiao. Yeah, as I was saying, I really need to buy a new monitor because I used to have like a TV, which I use as a monitor, and a regular monitor. But the regular monitor died after like a blackout. So now I
Oh,
just have
fuck.
this TV which I'm using. And like unfortunately my room is not that big. Like it's pretty decent, but the furniture occupies a lot of the space. So there's only so much space here, and I have to be at a fairly close distance to the TV. So actually have sort of to move my head so I can my eyes can look at the whole screen. You can't just move your eyes; you have to move your neck too, because it's too fucking big, and I'm too fucking close to the screen. So I really, really, really
Okay,
need
now,
to buy a new
yeah.
monitor.
Now I see what you mean. But like, you.
Yeah.
But if I
Just
understood correctly, like, you live. Obviously, you live with your dad, but like, you guys live in like, what is it? Just what is it? It has a name in English and probably one in Portuguese and one in Swedish. It's like it's not like a house. It's like a gathering of house. It's like the houses are melted into each other. It's hard to explain. Or do you live in a flat?
I think it's a flat, a gathering of houses, like a, you mean like a
You seen Harry Potter?
condom.
Then you know what I mean. Like that they're built into each other, so they're not technically your
I
own
think I know what you
house.
mean.
Yeah, perfect.
There's like no, there like my house. There's my house, and then there's like a wall, a fence, and everything. So it's not
Yeah, exactly.
built together with others.
Yeah, no, that's because we live as you do, like in a flat. So like it's not. What is it like?
Wait, really?
Yeah, we live in a flat. But okay, so
No, it's not like very expensive in Sweden. Oh,
uh,
hey, Stefan.
no, it's not like super exp. It depends. Like, I mean, if you live in the city center, then like my aunt lives like in a really nice spot in Stockholm. Like, so she pays. What is it? I'm gonna take it in dollars, and then you sort of get what I mean. I think it's like
Yeah, I can get
a for everything, what is it called, like electricity, water, so on, so on. It's like $800 a month.
Yeah, that's. Let me see. That's. Huh. Yeah, that's. Wait, it's not that expensive. You said it's a really nice location?
Yeah, but also in Sweden, right, because of our unions and everything, like they have put a cap on it, how much you can take out in rent. So like you're not allowed to. So it's not market rents. It's like a plan, like in a what is it? Planned market
Communism.
rent. Like then you understand, yeah.
Communism. It's communism. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
obviously it's communism. No, but here's the thing though, like I support some of these super cucked leftist policies. This is one of them I support. Because then it forces people to
I
live
mean, like if
together.
it works, right? As long as it works.
Yeah, and in this case it works because like I mean the thing is like that you have all people from all stripes of lives living together in I think it's like in certain parts of Stockholm this is the case, but the problem is that East Side or Östermalm and Gärdet, they are like what is it? They're facing the ocean. Those it's hard to explain. Like actually, if you just Google Stockholm map, like you will see what I mean. The thing is like they are Stockholm map, and it's like super expensive, those places up there, like that's on the east side. Can you actually try projecting it in OBS so I can actually see what map you're looking in? Can we try that?
Yes, but let me see if I can. If I don't have any personal information or shit that I shouldn't show.
Like dick size?
No, I don't think.
20 centimeters, right? And that's not when you have a boner. That's like a standard. That's
you
standard.
told me that I think it was Ben Shapiro who had like was searching for something, and it led to like AOC feet pics, something like that, on his search history.
Really, I haven't heard about
that
this.
kind of mistake. Yeah, no, I heard about this. If it wasn't
AOC
so
feed
complex
pics.
means, or maybe it was Zoni who told me it. But yeah, let me see how to broadcast it. A second. Window capture. Where's window capture here? Okay. Yeah. There's so much shit here. I mean, probably nobody's gonna fucking bother to look at this, so I don't have to be that worried. This. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Can you see?
Yeah, so can you just zoom out?
Yeah. Sure. More?
Yeah. Okay, zoom in.
Okay.
Just like one zoom in.
Wait, more?
No, zoom in, not zoom out.
Oh. Sorry, I misheard them. Okay.
Stop. Because
Is that too much?
Yeah, now you have to zoom out. Because like the Twitch map, like the Twitch stream is like what does it say? Like it's it's not as fast. So zoom out. I will just tell you when zoom out. Zoom out.
Oh.
Zoom out.
Okay. Dude, you have like no delay to my stream. That's actually pretty sick. Because
yeah,
I barely finished zooming out, and you were already calling me to zoom out again.
Yeah. Stop.
So. Okay.
Just go a little south. Just a little.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Go a little?
Yeah, south, like down. Just a little.
Out?
No, down. Down.
Down. Okay.
Yeah, just a little.
Like this, you mean?
Yeah, perfect. Stop.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Stockholm. So the different parts, I'm actually curious. How would you? Okay, you see where your mouse pointer is now, right?
Yes.
So, do you see a place? Go up with the mouse pointer, just a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because I want to see you pronounce a name here, if you can do it. No. Just move the mouse pointer itself, not the map, just the mouse pointer itself. Move it up.
Okay, like this then. Oh.
No, stop. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, yeah. Exactly. So that part, this city part, how would you pronounce that?
This?
Yeah.
Ostermalm?
Yeah, it's actually pretty close. It's really close. Though it is like you see the O to the left that has 2 points on it. That's pronounced as
Oh, Ostermalm.
Yeah, sort of. It's like Östermalm.
Oh, Maluma.
Yeah, sort of. Like
Okay.
for it's Swedish is like a tricky language because like it's a little delicacy.
It doesn't need to be. I actually can't pronounce words from other languages at all, even if they're easy. Like I had this convo with who was it? I don't remember who it was, but we were trying to pronounce some Indian word, and it wasn't even an Indian word. It was like an Indian syllable, something like that. And like I had three people correcting me for like what must have been like 10 minutes, and I couldn't get it right. So I think I've heard this, like I read this before, that apparently babies pronounce every syllables like with their mouths when they're like barely born, and as we learn languages, we stop pronouncing some of them. So I think that at some point it just becomes really really hard to learn how to make certain sounds, and yeah, so you don't have to try to teach me how to pronounce Austermalm or whatever. It's not
Yeah.
gonna work, I think.
Yeah, but anyway, if you no, I hear you. Like what you said about the babies, 'cause that's interesting. But can you zoom out? Because now, because I wanted to show,
Yeah,
I wanted to say what I wanted, like, but zoom out from to where
yeah.
you were before. Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
send.
So my point here is that the south part here that says Katarina Sofia or Katarina Sofia in English, that city part is called Södermalm, and that's
Yeah.
where the rent is controlled. And then you have where we were in Östermalm. It's there the rents are not controlled because all the rich people bought all the apartments like
Wait,
years ago.
I think you cut off when you said the name of the part of the city. What was the name?
Södermalm. So Södermalm is like the
No, the
part.
one that's not rent controlled.
Yeah, you're at it now. This island here, the island you're at now.
Södermalm is not rent controlled. Is
No,
that
no,
correct?
no. That this one is rent controlled, but Östermalm is not. So
Östermalm.
yeah,
Where is Östermalm?
that was where we just
Oh, the
were.
one we were trying to pronounce later,
Yeah,
earlier. That is.
yeah,
Okay.
and like it's super. Yeah, exactly. No, the thing is like here, as you can see, if you zoom out again, so we can get a nice little overview.
Zoom out is fine.
Yeah, zoom out. Just a little.
Okay. By the way, if you say here, I actually can't tell where you're pointing, so
Yeah, but just just
it
zoom.
doesn't help.
Yeah, that's why I said generally just zoom out, just scroll back on the mouse wheel, and you'll be all right. Okay, so your stream is loading. Give me a second, or give it a second to pop up again.
Wait, I think my internet just crashed for a second because I stopped hearing your voice and OBS disconnected. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, and I should be recording anyway, so like it's fine regardless. But
Yeah, that's
just
great.
final.
But let me give me a second just so I can restart OBS because yeah, it's streaming still. But wait, it's not streaming. It says stop streaming, but I'm not streaming. Okay, stop and start. And we're live again, I think. But I'm dropping some frames. Yeah, my internet has been really, really fucking trash recently. And
Oh, there it is. It's fine now. So just keep it there. Keep it there. It's
I've
fine.
been to I've gone to my mom's house for like a week,
Oh yeah.
and they have better internet there, like 10 times better. And I kind of forgot because I used to live there, how much better it is over there. Because I got used to the shitty internet they have here. I really have to search for another internet service provider because this, like, if we want to keep streaming weekly, like we're doing right now, it's not gonna work. I have to switch it
Man,
up.
you should move out of Brazil.
I mean, I'm probably gonna do
Just
it.
generally, just move out of Brazil. Like, just show up in Chile and like,
Like,
yeah, I'm live here now.
give me like a year so I can figure fix shit that I have to fix first, and then I can do that. But
Yeah,
before that, it's not worth it.
yeah. So anyway, just to tell, just to nip this arc, so it's done. This me explaining my
Yeah,
city, like,
like
so I don't
yeah,
actually live here. I live in a suburb to Stockholm, but I used to live in like in a suburb closer, like in a, I guess it's a
hmm
high rise. Yeah, I lived in a high rise, like on the top floor. So it was really cool because you could see like Stockholm just like a glow. This sounds so edgy me saying it, but I don't care. But like a glowing mat almost. So you could see like the Globe Arena and the big skyscrapers in the middle. It was really cool. But anyway, my point here is being that in the south side, where the rent is controlled, you get like mixed people living together, like from different stripes of lives. So you could literally, you know, have like a normal apartment and work at McDonald's, and it would be fine. And but in East Östermalm, the rich part, everyone has like bought up all the apartments and stuff. So good luck living there. It's really beautiful there though. Like I like it, but the problem is it's better now. But before, when, because I used to have a friend that lived there, and every time I would go visit her, they would stare at me like, "Who the fuck are you? Why are you here?" Like they are, they think they are much better than everyone.
they're
Oh,
they have
you went to the wrong street. You
the
should have gone
elite
to
mindset.
you should have gone to the street over, because that's a beautiful street actually. So yeah,
I mean, I just wanted to get like a notion of what you mean by when you say that it's like a very rich place, I guess.
go left. Yeah, down here. Left. Go left.
Left here,
Yeah,
like where I am, or
yeah, yeah, yeah. Left. No, no, no. Go. What is it? It's so tricky. Like, yeah.
behind here.
No, stay here. It's nice. I like it here. Yeah, this street.
Okay. I'm not sure why we were doing this, to be honest.
No, no.
I
You
just wanted
you
to.
went in to Östermalm. I was like, okay, cool. He wants to see like what it looks like. But yeah,
I mean,
this
I'll
is
just fucking around. Like, I think you're like at least 5 seconds behind, so your directions actually aren't very.
stop.
Uh,
Please stop if you're there. Stop right there. Don't
no,
move
I
anything.
don't.
Don't move. Don't
Okay,
move. Don't move anything.
I found a place that's pretty
Yeah, this is the street I want to tell you
chill.
about.
There's some.
This is a beautiful street. I walk every time I'm in
Yeah.
Stockholm. I walk the street. I might even be caught on camera here. I'm the little baby. I'm actually hiding as a baby. You saw me. That was me.
I mean, the image is from 2017, so
It sort of
you're a
looks the
baby.
same. I mean, good luck changing anything in this city. Like you're not gonna be lucky. But yeah, if you go, okay, if you
Oh,
stop, don't. Okay, stop,
so
don't
you're a
move,
baby here, huh?
and I will tell you where to
Okay.
go. Yeah. Okay, so you're not moving anything now.
Yes, I stopped.
Yeah, turn left.
Okay.
Go down this street.
Yep.
Keep going down this street.
Okay.
And you're gonna see
I'm good.
something fucking awesome.
Really? God.
I see what you mean with your internet, man.
Do I keep going down
Yeah, keep going
or
down.
okay? I'm gonna keep going down. I'm gonna ask again at every corner. Do I keep going down? Because
Yeah, yeah,
at some point you're gonna tell me,
y-
"Oh no, you
yeah, you keep going down.
you went too far." Okay, I've hit a fountain. I think.
Yeah, so this
Carla Plan.
Karlaplan. Do you like it? Do you like how Swedish
Carla
people roll our R's and L's?
Plan. Yeah.
Yeah, this was actually not the place I wanted to show you, but this place is also nice. No, because can you go into map view and I will actually show you the cool place. If you just go into map view.
Do you want me to go full screen, or does half screen also work?
Okay. Do you see this?
Oh no. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you see that really big green area? Go there with the map.
Adolf's button?
No, the bigger one.
Oh, to the right here? Finland's ambassade?
Yes, that one.
Okay. Right here.
Yeah. Do you see it?
Around here?
This is a big fuck off field in the middle of Stockholm, and I love it. And it's, you see, that's Kaknästornet, like the building, like the thing that looks like Jeff Bezos' fucking spaceship. That is like the highest building in Stockholm.
Let me go back a bit.
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
see
think
it?
it's this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It has always been the biggest. It's like 120 meters or something. It's not the tallest one in Sweden. That's turning torso in Malmö. But it is the biggest one in Stockholm.
By the way, why is there a field in the middle of Stockholm?
It's like protected under a bunch of legislation that was like put forward in the 50s or 40s or something. So it's like super protected.
Yeah, but like, why? Is there like a reason why?
I mean, why? Yeah, I mean, it's a nice place you can go and take a walk at and stuff.
I mean, why don't they plant trees? Why is it like this?
Now this is like in autumn. That's why. So when this is in autumn, you can see it on the trees in distance. But if you change locationally, you will see how it looks like in the summer. It looks like a huge green field.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that's the summer, by the way.
That's winter.
Yeah. Let me see if there's other seasons pictured here. That's that's still autumn. I'm pretty sure.
It's autumn, but it's still beautiful because it's like a huge green field.
Definitely. Is this like a dog park? Do people bring their dogs here?
Yeah, we brought the dogs there. And now you see the appeal of it. It's like, because it's like.
I mean, I'm not trying to. How do I? Like, there's this. Like Jordan Peterson talks about it. There's nature and there's culture, and then there's like a garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a bit too much nature. It feels like the space is not optimized. I feel like, I mean, as a statement, to have like such a large field of nature in the middle of a big city is kind of cool. But at the same time, would it not be better if there were more trees and the space was like there was stuff in there so people could use it? Because in the end, it's for people, right? It's not for animals or for like.
I mean,
because there's the spaces which are made so like natural reserves and things like that, which are not meant for people. But if this is meant for people, I'm not sure if like this much open space is necessary. And like I'm criticizing something that I don't understand about.
Yeah, for me, this is like normal. That these places exist in Sweden. This is like normal to me.
I guess.
No, because like I guess in what did you say? I can't hear you.
Why so open? Surely. All right, whatever. Like you shouldn't stay on this topic for too long because it's boring.
Yeah, it is a little boring. I will just say this, that it is used to things like sporting events and stuff. Like
yeah,
and like the king walks here too. Like one of his castles are really close by too.
Yeah, one of the the pictures I have here is probably of an event. It says like sport, spell, and na, because it's an N and an O with the double dot on top of it. So it must be a na, right?
Yeah, spel means games.
Sport game, na.
Sport game, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, it is beautiful.
what did you
I
say?
shouldn't like. I was too. It is beautiful here. Like, don't get me wrong. It's definitely beautiful, and I would like to come here. But yeah, I don't want you to think that I am just being critical for no reason.
No, I understand what you mean. Like, it has a utility to the city. It does. Don't get me wrong. But the
So
thing is,
like, this is like, I don't know. Well, it isn't like the largest or the most concentrated part of Sweden, right?
no,
That's
yeah.
Stockholm.
If you see on the lower right, I was actually wrong. Like south of where we are, that is Kungliga Djurgården or Royal Djurgården, and that is like we have the amusement park here, and this is actually I was wrong earlier. This is where the king has his castle, one of his castles. Or no, this is the main castle, like the one he lives in, right? I need to. Yes, he lives here.
Why? Wait, I had a question. Why the fuck did it just leave my brain? Why are there so few photos here? What's Google Maps doing?
No, because the king lives there, man.
Yeah, but
It's
like
gonna be protected. Or no,
there
wait.
are photos,
Wait.
just not that many.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, you're actually right. I concede. That's weird. But yeah, the king
What?
lives here. Where is his fucking? It's called something. Rose. What is it called?
If I zoom in, maybe it says something. Is this the house I just saw? That's not the
No, that's
king,
yeah.
the
Obviously,
palace.
that's not. Or is it? Or does he live
What's
somewhere
this?
else? No, I swear to God, he lives here.
All right, I'm
Not there,
gonna
obviously.
go
But
king residence of Sweden. Let's see if anything turns up. The royal palace.
okay, now yeah, no, that he doesn't live there.
Kungliga.
But that is the castle in Sweden.
I see. Let me.
And it looks out over the whole of Stockholm. So it's like located really strategically. Because you can see the
That's
whole
where
of Stockholm
you,
there. Yeah,
where
you
you
can
can
see.
see the globe and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. What the fuck is that though? What the hell?
Yeah, it looks very Kafkaesque. But no, aren't they? I think they are cleaning it too. Like, so there might be some sort of equipment. But this is the royal castle. Yes, it's
Yeah.
yeah. You can see like the guy who built it up there, like But as you can see, they also do the renovation and stuff. But this is old town. Like, good luck getting an apartment here. Like, they are high in demand.
This guy looks like the soldier from Team Fortress 2.
Man, these guys, man. Like, I remember yeah, okay, no, I'm not gonna dwell on it because it's such a long story. But needless to say, I have a really fun story I will tell you sometime about the Royal Guard. But yeah, that is Stockholm. Like, the thing is, like, I would ask you to show Brazil, but I'm afraid that I'm just gonna see favelas and be scared.
You're afraid of what?
I will just see favelas. That's what I will see. Like, this is Brazil.
Like, I would like to. The problem is that the places I live and have lived are so small
Oh
that
yeah, that
people
people
could
will
probably.
know. They will find you.
Yeah, like it wouldn't be that hard. So I'd rather not. I could. Well, like it wouldn't make sense for me to try to like show you Rio de Janeiro. I have never been to Rio de Janeiro, so it's as much of a surprise to you as it is to me. So
No,
There's no
because
point.
the thing is, like, I think I told this as a joke, and none of you Brazilians in the server at the time talked back to me. Like, I picture Brazil as a man sitting, like, at a coffee shop drinking coffee while hearing gunfires from the favelas, and then, like, footballs are just going across, the horizon everywhere, and next to you, like, a drug lord is sniffing like cocaine from a big ass. That's the picture I get when I think of Brazil, and the vague
I
Latino music,
mean,
of course.
I mean, I would like to say that that's not that far from reality, but it's too much Hollywood. I think it's also you forgot the isn't that like the dog barking and the mom screaming in the
Oh
background?
yeah, those two things, yes, of course. But I no, because but you can't show me like the capital city of your state, or is that too much?
I could, yeah. Uh,
Let's go Brazil, man.
yeah, this is Curitiba. This is where I was born technically. I was born here, but I never. Actually, I did live here for like 3 years, but I barely left my apartment, so I don't know much about the city. Um, so let me
Why
check
didn't you leave your
what's
apartment, or were you like a kid?
bro. Like living your apartment is something that takes a lot of courage in Brazil.
Oh really?
So I'll
I
just
don't
go
know.
to the
I'm a Euro cuck. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Like well, to be honest, like I've only been mugged like 2 or 3 times, so it's not that
Like,
often.
Jesus Christ! Like, yeah, I was mugged 2 or 3 times only, but that's fine. Like, fucking hell. Okay, all right. No, no, wait,
Yeah,
wait. Okay, okay, just to clarify, because I saw.
I fucking hate big cities because of this. That's the reason.
What did you
I
say?
I fucking I fucking hate big cities in Brazil, and that's the reason why. It's just not safe, and like everybody knows it's not safe, and you can't like there's places and there's times of the day you can't leave your house basically because it's too dangerous, and I fucking hate that. So that's one of
Okay, I get
that's
it. That's
probably the
fair.
biggest
That's
reason of
fair.
why I want to look somewhere else.
Yeah, like as I said, like when you because you said it like, dude, like living in an apartment in Brazil, that's like super brave. I'm like, this is a Eurocuck thing. That's like there's a translate something missing in translation here. But I understand, like, because now I have to ask you, because the mugging there has to be mugging and mugging. What I mean with that is, because if I understand correctly, in like Southern America, there's like two types of muggings when people talk about this. It's one that someone either bigger than you or someone holding a weapon actually robs you at fucking gunpoint, or it's that you're walking down the street and someone just steals something from you and runs off. Am I getting it right?
I think the last one you just mentioned is not mugging. I think mugging requires confrontation, and
Okay, then
just
that
putting a
sucks.
random
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That I get it. Yeah, that sucks.
yeah. I mean, I said that I was mugged 3 times, but it's more like uh, they tried to mug me 3 times, I think, and like one of the interactions was just someone was like, "Give me your phone," and I was like, "No," and then they showed me a knife, and I crossed the street before they could do anything. So, like, that's as dangerous as it got, and
Super shad move
I
though.
think the other time I just lied I don't have a phone, and I was in a pretty safe location, and it was like a fucking teenager, which was
Oh,
barely
okay.
older than me at the time, so I wasn't very scared. Yeah, so it's not like uh, like the experiences were enough for me to not enjoy going out in the street, especially like the early morning was the period which I thought was the most dangerous. But I'm sure that if I left the house more, I would have been in more danger.
No, no, that's
Um,
understandable. Like, it's people walking around mugging people. I
yeah,
mean, because I. All right, then I
I think
understand it.
also an easy target because, like for example, I used to go to a private school which had a uniform, so I had to go to school in the private school uniform, which is like
Oh, okay.
basically a symbol of status, which also doesn't translate very well to your safety. And I'm also fat, so that probably made me easy prey. Um,
But what is the average
but
height
yeah, like
in
there,
Brazil though? Like, because I don't know if you're like tall in Brazil or not.
and we on average, the average height in Brazil, I think, is 175,
Really? That's
and
fucking
I'm
tiny.
180. Yeah, it's pretty short compared to the world, I think. Actually, it's not that short compared to the world because the Asian countries
Oh
bring
yeah,
the
yeah.
average down. But compared to Europe and America, it's pretty short.
Yeah, I realize I'm from Sweden, so I should shut the fuck up. We're all giants here, so.
Yeah, you are actually pretty tall, right? You're 190 something.
187.
Yeah, that's pretty tall, right?
Yeah, because the thing is
I
like,
mean, maybe it's not that tall, I guess. What's the average there?
I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to pretend. I just know it's tall. That's all I know. I just like compared to other countries. But then I need to ask like, because the thing is, right, it feels like when you talk about these muggings and stuff, like it's much more commonplace than here, because in Sweden, right, if someone pulls a knife on you here, like the thing is in Sweden in general, if you threaten someone like that, I mean, you better be good on your promise, because either the person is gonna like, go completely like, oh my god, like that, which is fair, right? Or they're gonna go completely fucking bananas, insane. So it feels like in Brazil, it's like, give me your money, just give it to me, and they're like, okay. Or am I completely wrong here? Like they won't. My point here is that it's
I
more
think
commonplace.
yeah, it's more commonplace, and the reaction would certainly be lesser than compared to a place where it's not as common. And I mean, I can't tell how the experience is for other people because I'm not. I guess I haven't talked about this with many people, but how I've seen it portrayed in the media and so forth, it's often almost comedic, right? In the sense that they portray the person being robbed as like not being surprised at all. Like they expect it. It's as common as a business
Oh yeah,
transaction,
exactly.
essentially.
Yeah.
You just give away your phone and whatever's in your wallet, and they let you go. Is the like what I think is common protocol for these situations. And I don't think that many people are scared. But like I've also seen like there's a subreddit. I think you've been to it. It had to be Brazil. Not sure if you've seen it.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay to laugh. It's funny. Like there's plenty of videos which you see sometimes. Some of which are like a cop shooting someone who was robbing, but there's some which are a bit weirder. Like someone was robbing someone else in the street, and then a car runs over the person. Or
Okay.
yeah, I think there was. I'm not sure if it was in Brazil, so I shouldn't even mention it, but I might as well because it's funny. Like someone tries to rob a store at gunpoint, and then like the lady who was the clerk gets like a broom and starts hitting the guy with the gun with the broom, and
Shit.
the
Alright.
guy just leaves. That's
just,
just
just fucking like fuck this thing.
it's
This
so
is like
ridiculous.
this power level is like I've only seen this type of raw power before, essentially.
Yeah, it's mom power, right?
Yeah, no,
You,
because yeah,
you can compete with that.
no, my dad once, right? My dad has been like, here's the thing. Sweden in general is really safe. It is, but we have had an uptick in crime lately because our government sucks. It
Actually,
just does.
heard
What did you say?
a crime recently in Sweden. I actually heard of a crime recently in Sweden,
Hmm.
which was a pretty No, it wasn't Sweden. Sorry, it was Singapore actually. I just remember the people being like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this happened in Singapore." It was like I think it was a student who killed another student with an axe, which is like
Damn.
yeah, extremely violent and apparently like completely unheard of in Singapore. So
Yeah, that's fucked. And like they have some serious laws there. Like you're fucked. Like if you
it's the closest thing to a modern tyranny, like a Western
yeah
essentially tyranny.
capitalistic
Although it's
yeah, it's a capitalistic dictatorship. Like everyone knows this.
yeah, and it's very like it's some of the laws there are like I think you can't chew gum on the off chance that you might actually throw it like in the street. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
instead of just forbidden to throw, to litter the street with gum, they just forbid people to sell it, which is, it does solve the problem, I guess, but
Yeah,
it's a
it's
bit,
crazy over there.
I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and
what I was gonna
I hear
say,
stories about fine.
yeah, because in Sweden, like there was like two kids who got shot at. I don't remember if they died, but they got shot at like with guns in Sweden, and these kids were like 8 or 9 years old. So I mean,
Oh,
but anyway, but the thing with my dad, right, is he wasn't involved in the shooting, of course. I was just gonna tell about the time my dad almost got mugged, because what happened was that he had how was it? Yeah, he had a fight with my aunt or something, and then he kind of stormed out of the car, and he went into one of those parks we just looked at in Sweden, and this was like nighttime, and he goes into the park and like super angry, super pissed off, and then some dude just appears and holds out a knife and says, money or your life. And my dad just shouts fuck off, or like something like that. He just walks off because he was so angry at the other thing. And I'm like, okay. And then he like
that is
walks.
essentially that is essentially what I did when the guy tried to steal my phone with the knife. I was so pissed off. It's like you can't control it. It's people call it fight or flight. Like sometimes you just want to fight, and so you do turn to anger. Like you're very pissed off, and you don't actually think for your safety. You whatever happens essentially.
But this place you're in now looks really nice, though. It looks really cute.
Yeah, I like this. This is Santa Catarina, which is the state I'm at right now. The city is called Blumenau. I have been here actually once, I think, but I don't remember it much. What I do like about the state is how much prettier and better
Greener.
taken care of. Yes, and it's like one of the states with the highest. What's the how is the acronym in English? Is it
GDP?
Human Development Index? No, Development Human Development Index. I think it's the translation, something like that. Uh, it's about measuring life quality, and it's one of the highest in Brazil, if not the highest. And yeah, it's like pretty chill here. Like the cities where I've lived are pretty close to this, just smaller essentially. And because they're smaller, they're not as rich and pretty, but they're they're safe at least. That's where I've lived most of my life. And yeah, it's fairly pretty and well taken care of. Like if I had to live in Brazil, no matter what, I would probably choose to live somewhere around here, like either here or maybe in Joinville, which is Joinville in Portuguese. I'm not sure why I try to speak it with an English accent. I mean, go. And I think most of cities in Santa Catarina have had a European immigration, so the architecture and stuff is still very much European nature. Like we also my I think my dad was the one who told me this, but apparently like there was some serious problem with schools teaching Nazi stuff to kids,
What
like private schools.
codes?
Um,
What to say? Who were teaching the Nazi
schools,
stuff? Okay, schools. Okay, go on.
yeah, private schools were teaching Nazi stuff because there was like Santa Catarina is big, right? Not that big, but it's like I don't know the size of France or something. And
Oh, okay.
there are many cities which were settled primarily by Germans, for example, and some of them are pretty prosperous cities. And like the people from these cities had more of a identity with Germany than with Brazil, right? Like on the schools, they taught both German and Portuguese, for
Yeah, yeah, I
example.
heard about this. Like
But that
something
was
I'm
like
missing.
I should say like that was like 50 years ago or something. So
Yeah, no, because what I heard
it's
is
not
that
something that still happens.
because there was this Swedish reporter, right? Like the reporter we have for for Brazil, essentially, and he has gotten mugged, I think, 3 or 4 times, or no less, like 2 or 3 times he has gotten mugged, and one of these happened on like live TV. And I shouldn't laugh because of course it sucks, but the thing, it's not what happened to you. It's what I explained. Like he was talking like into the camera, and then some guy on a bike shows up behind him and takes something from him, and then he
Yeah,
just
that's
starts
yeah,
screaming in Swedish and like in this accent that is like the accent he has is like frowned upon in Sweden. Like everyone makes fun of it because it sounds so ridiculous. And then he starts speaking Portuguese, right? But he has this accent, like the one we hate for Sweden. And it's the like for Swedish people, it's like super funny. Like it's hard to explain, but to you it would be like, oh yeah, that seems like something that could happen here. But like for us, it's like super funny. And the thing is like. I was going somewhere with this. The point, no, this is the point. It was uploaded to Sweatit, like the Swedish subreddit, and then
mm,
someone asked, like, what is it like in Brazil? Like, is it actually bad? And then someone started talking like, it obviously depends on where you go. If you just go to Rio de Janeiro, yeah, maybe you will get a different, feeling about it. However, and then he started talking about what you were sort of talking about, that there are cities inland that are like, or not inland, but somewhere that are like sort of like Germany, like they're like Germany, like in terms of living and everything.
yeah. Like how do I explain this? Well, like Brazil also had a past with slavery, right? Like it's not
Yeah. I don't remember
exclusively.
the first. I guess first it was the native population, I guess, and then it was black people, right?
Yeah, yeah, basically yes. Like the native population slavery was never as big as the black population slavery, but it
All
did
right.
happen, and it happened first. And like you can sort of track, and this is sort of an annoying topic and one that people can get wrong, especially if people are inclined to interpret things in a way that I don't really particularly like you know critical hate race theory stuff.
Oh yeah.
But you, you can actually trace poverty back to slavery, essentially, right? Like
Oh, it's that
states which
far back.
yeah, states which had more slavery are poorer, essentially.
All
But
right.
states that had less slavery and more European immigration are less poor. And the reason for that is obviously that there was less of a discrepancy in wealth between citizens, because like in the South, people didn't actually have slaves because you had to be rich to be a slave owner, and the people who came from Europe weren't rich; they were actually very poor, and they came to Brazil precisely because they were poor. And in Brazil, there was land which they could own. So they came to Brazil on the promise of land, and they, started their own farms and their families in it, etc. And then the cities prospered, but the cities which had used slave labor, like Rio de Janeiro and the north mostly, are still poor to this day in comparison. And the biggest reason for that is probably because they depended on slavery to uh, have their economy, and it just creates too much inequality between people, and like that does echo through the generations, and that's why I said it's a topic that I don't particularly enjoy talking about, because there's the obvious, well, we need to do something about this. So it brings up things like reparations and stuff like that, which I'm not in favor of. But yeah, I still think it's important to at least note that the reason that uh, there are poorer and richer states in Brazil is essentially due to the stupid decision of using slave labor as a way to try to boost your economy, essentially.
No, because I mean, what you're saying there with people going over, like and buying land. I mean, I think
It's not
in
even. It's like basically free. I'm pretty sure. Like
yeah, in
people just gave them land.
I think in Scandinavia, right? I think from Scandinavia in total to North America, there was something ridiculous, like how many people? Like 100,000 people, more 500,000 people that emigrated to the States, and this was like back in 1850 or something. So I mean, we were a much smaller country then, but it was like a huge amount of people that like yes, and they did what you said. They went there, and then they just checked them and like, okay, are you crazy? No, like mentally insane. Okay, they're not mentally insane. Are they carrying any disease? No. Okay, welcome to America. Essentially, that's what it was like. The only thing was, and even
That seems like
if,
a pretty good system.
what did you say?
That seems like a pretty good system. I
Yeah,
mean, maybe check if they're a criminal
yeah. I
too,
was just
right?
gonna
But besides
finish.
that,
Yeah, I was just gonna finish this point. The thing is that even if you had like a sickness, they would treat it. They would be like, oh yeah, go to this hospital and treat it. If it was like something small, the only people that had to be sent back were like people who were super fucking insane or super fucking sick. But I mean, that threshold was. Oh yeah, we don't. What the hell, dude? We got a fucking bot in the chat. Do you see it?
really,
Yeah, do you see it?
yep. Let me. How do I? Fuck, I'm not on streamer mode. How do I do this? I am on streamer mode. Why can't I fucking just delete this? Maybe I'm not. I'm not sure. Here. I'm gonna ban this person. There we go.
Just give them a timeout, then they will know how to not be a bot. Give that AI what it deserves. A timeout.
Yeah, I thought I should probably time that person out. It's the first first time they were doing something wrong. Maybe they'll learn their lesson if I don't ban them. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
It reminds me of this political compass meme I saw, like where it says like how lib left thinks that voting, like how you beat fascists work. That like you see people voting out Hitler, and they're like, "Take this, you fascist," and then Hitler's like, "No!" That's how it felt like, you know.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
but
I love that you do that because people actually do sort of believe that, so it's funny.
I mean, here's the thing: American politics, it is cancer. It's literally fucking cancer, and it keeps fucking seeping
Horrible.
into my country's system too, which
I
is why I hate
actually
it even more.
I don't fucking believe it, dude. Like it's so stupid. It's so fucking. How do you only have two parties, and how do the people actually agree with most of the policies of each party, and just like are okay with the ones that they don't agree with? Like,
Yeah, they here's the thing: they
it doesn't make
agree
sense to
more
me.
than they disagree all the time. I don't understand.
Yes,
Like the thing is like,
united.
oh, I hate this person because they are, I don't know, let's say it's a Republican, right? And they say this, oh, I hate this guy because he's a Democrat. And then like when they actually sit down and talk in like debates I've seen, they agree on almost
Yeah,
everything. And I'm like, but then it's like, but you are Democrat, therefore I hate you, and vice versa with a Democrat. And it's like, are these people
like
actually braindead?
they agree on most things, and the problem is that like the stuff that they disagree on is stuff like it's sort of irreconcilable essentially, like abortion. It's like you're never going to convince a pro-life person of going for abortion, and the opposite is true as well. Like it's not something that can be debated essentially, so you have to divide people by those ideas. And it's like you can't have a conversation about it even if you're like taking sides there. So
No, I agree. I'm gonna take a smoke break for 5 minutes, but then we can talk about, the thing we were actually gonna talk about. But
yeah,
yeah,
sure.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay, all has gone. I'm gonna check if there was a city I wanted to see because fuck, I don't wanna. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna blank out the screen for a second. This maybe this. Oh, here. Okay. Stare at Kayako's breasts. Oh, search for something. Mm.
Are you there?
Yep, I'm here still.
Yeah, I a fucking spider found its way into my pocket, like my chest pocket. It was fucking disgusting. Like, and we don't usually get big spiders in Sweden, but this was a fucking fat fuck, like legit thick TM and all. Like, this was disgusting.
Was it like a? I think they call it a daddy long legs, or was it an actual poisonous spider?
No, we
Or
don't.
sorry,
We don't have poisonous spiders here, but
it's
it's,
actually venomous, not poisonous.
what is it called? It's a cross spider. That's the only ones that we have, and they get big, but they're like harmless. They're more disgusting.
Yeah, is it that ones who have like very thin legs?
Yeah, they're the long legs. Yeah.
I think they're called daddy long legs. I'm not sure though.
And then you have the great
I just
huntsman.
heard it. Um, by the
That
way, can we see the picture on the stream right now?
yeah.
Does it remind you of something?
I mean, it looks like a an otter with a mustache.
Does does it remind you of someone's profile picture?
No? Who?
Oh, come on, dude. Like that was the first thing I thought of. Safin's profile picture with the cat drinking milk was
Oh
very
yeah,
rough.
yeah, little.
That's the first thing I thought of. By the way, I looked up cities which were colonized by Germans. This was one of the cities. Like you can,
Oh yeah,
like
Jesus.
you can look at the names of the places, like Wunderwald and I don't know,
Yeah,
Dan Halls
yeah. Do you know what
and that
Wunderwald
stuff.
means?
Like,
Do you know what it means?
I don't know, if I were to try to translate it, I'd say something like, I don't know, Great World.
It's like Wonder Forest. But now when you say great, Wunder might means that, but Wald means forest.
Wait,
Wald means
are you there?
forest. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, sorry, I thought you cut off for a second.
No, I was
I
just
mean,
gonna
you did
say,
cut off for a second.
yeah, this other chat, I just said in it like, I feel like Neo is hiding Brazilian waifus from me, which is a clever move to be fair, because he's not a communist. So, and if you reveal them to me,
I'm
then you would have to share them, and that would be insane.
Wait, what am I hiding?
Brazilian waifus.
Oh, I see. I mean, I don't have waifus in Brazil, but yeah, if I had them, I would hide them, I guess, because they would be mine, not someone else's.
I can just.
I mean,
Where's the anime
you,
about
you
Brazil
don't share
yet?
your Swedish waifus, right?
Like, here's the thing. I'm thinking,
Maybe I
do I
should say
even?
that despite your country's stereotype, you personally don't share your wife, right?
Oh yeah, that thing.
So yeah,
I know what you
I,
mean. I know what you mean. The cuck thing.
I
Like the
thought of the dumb joke and I had to say it.
like the thing is, like, it was a time there where every Swedish person would be called a cuck. Seriously, which is a nice lead-in to this Joe
Wait,
Caper.
the
With
average?
no, we were all during the fucking anti-SGW era. Anti-SGW era. If you were Swedish, you would always get called a cuck online. Always. Like, hi, I'm Swedish. Oh, you
Oh,
fucking cuck. Like, you were a
oh,
cuck.
okay.
If you were Swedish, you were a cuck. Like, that's it.
Yes, the stereotype. Yes, I thought you were saying for real. Like there
Oh
was a
yeah.
time in history where Sweden were
Oh
all
yeah.
cucks
Like
or something.
during a year there, we were all cucks. We just let men come in and fuck our wives.
I mean, have you watched Viking?
Yeah, I've seen. I've. I'm waiting for it to finish because it's like one more season, right? And then finishes.
Oh, I won't spoil, but yeah.
Now I know what happens to Ragnar, but like here's the thing with Ragnar. That's like part of our history, so I knew that already.
I haven't finished it actually, so that's not it. I just meant like in the show, basically they insinuate that it's common for a husband to share his wife with whoever he thinks his friends are.
Yeah, I not sure about that. If that was the case, I
I'm
don't
pretty
think
sure
so.
that that's wrong, and I'm pretty sure that people hated that because it's wrong, and
Okay,
it
now
like
here's a
it's a
rant.
very
Okay,
stupid
here's
joke.
no, because I need to say this about this. The thing that
Yeah.
infuriates me about that. So Ragnar has, like, because you've seen up until season 2 at least, right?
Uh,
You've seen up until season 2 of Vikings.
I do not remember. It's been quite some time to be
But anyway, so Ragnar
honest.
has this
But
girl, like, that he's sort of married to, like Gerda, right?
yeah,
Why? Who? And I will say it a third time. Who trades Lagerda to that skinny girl in the right mind? The skinny girl isn't even interesting. Lagerda is like a goddess or
okay, but
something.
like now that we're talking about it, I have to pull up the photos to compare the girls, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
Helga is one of them.
No, she's like brown. I don't remember the other
Yeah.
girl's name. Lagerda is like the main girl in Vikings.
So Lagerta, how Viking? Let me see. Oh, I actually got it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Viking thin girl. I doubt that's gonna.
Find, yeah. No, it's his new wife, and I mean she's attractive, sure, but dude, come on, like that's a downgrade. Like, actually, like let me see so we can put them on screen because this actually annoys me. Give me a second.
It's not. Yeah, that's not. It's not Torvi, right?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I'll put it on screen so you can follow what I'm doing. So does she show up amongst the characters here, or can I click right? I know who Lagerta is. I already have a picture of her.
No. Lagerta is the girl. Yeah, it literally says Lagerta there. Torvi is fine. She's
Yeah.
like she's really hot, so it's fine. But
You must be kidding me, right? There's no way you think this girl is hot.
no, wait. I'm trying to find the other one, but there's this.
This is Torvi.
No, but
This is Torvi.
no, but there's
Torvi
okay. I don't know. I don't know if it's Torvi, but because
Okay.
there's one girl, right, in it that's like a Norwegian actress who's ridiculously attractive, and like if you traded like that, I could understand. I could understand that. But let me see if I Google Ragnar wives, then I will find her.
Okay, I can do that too. Ragnar wives. Aslog?
Yeah. If you Google the same thing, then you see Lagerda to
No,
the right, and then another girl on the left, right?
Is this? You're saying this girl is much less attractive than Lagerta?
But put her up. Yes. She's also really skinny. If you wait, let me show you the photo I have.
Aslog versus Lagerta. Hopefully someone already has put them side by side.
Dude, shippers exist everywhere, so they should exist.
You're saying that the left girl is much prettier than the right girl. Is that correct?
Okay, there's another thing here that we can't see. The girl on the right is very, very skinny, and Lagerda is very, very curvy. That's why it's a downgrade too. So I take that into consideration too.
This is kind of very fucked up that we're doing this. Just basically comparing women for their beauty.
No, but whatever. Like it's the truth, though.
Since we're already doing it, yeah. I mean, let's just say none of it's subjective, and this is just our opinions, just in case.
Yeah, of course.
With that as a premise, let me say that yes, the left girl is curvier, but I think that the right girl is much prettier. Like,
yeah, but there's also another thing, right? Lagerda is also like
a bit too strong for my. In Crusaders Kings, if you're a giant, you get like this very square jaw, and her jaw kind of reminds me of the giant jaw from Crusader Kings. But the rest of her face is very, very pretty, and I guess she's very skinny. But like you're saying that the left girl is very curvy. I don't know if it's the arm or whatever, but she doesn't look that curvy.
Okay, so I sent you the image this is like a better comparison. Now you see what I mean.
Oh, Discord. Oh, but you sent me the thumbnail.
Yeah, I know I couldn't find a bigger one.
Very small. Okay, let me find a bigger one then. I know how to search images, I think. All sizes. Oh, are there no big girls? What the fuck? 640. Those. Size large. Okay, fuck you. There's no bigger images. I guess you were right. Can't even.
Can't even Google them. No, but seriously though, there's also a thing where they sort of show like Yeah, I know how this is gonna sound, but they show them like, when they're going at it, like, naked and stuff. The thing is, like Gerda
But they
is.
don't show everything, right?
They saw, yeah, in Vikings they do actually. They show everything.
They don't show the dick
They don't?
and the
I thought they
right?
did.
I thought they did it. Like not during sex. Like I think it's one thing to show like a flaccid penis and stuff, but not an actual, penetration.
Maybe you and me just
Yeah,
have a different type of, taste in girls.
this
Which,
picture you sent me, like her chin, the thin girl you don't like. It really does detract from her face, and the right girl looks much better in this picture, I guess. So I guess I understand why you think it's a downgrade. But both of them are very, very pretty.
I mean,
So,
yeah, neither of us would have any chance with a girl looking like that. Let's be completely clear with that. Like,
so you're
it's.
saying in the story, yes, but you're saying in the story that he sold the girl in the right
No, he doesn't sell
to
her. He
have the
he he goes with the girl, the skinny girl.
so he cheats on his wife,
Sheets and
or
sheets. You know how it is in that show. Like, it's more like, yeah,
it's polygamy then,
yeah, they're
basically.
polygamy in Vikings in this era. So it's like,
I
no,
mean,
she.
like if you're in a polygamous relationship, I don't think that you have to go for a prettier girl, because as long as it's another girl, even if she's not as hot as your girlfriend, you're still down to fuck her, right? Because the point is
Okay,
not for it to be
but
better,
there's
to
there's
be
also missing there's a missing context here. What happens is that Ragnar goes to another place. He is with this girl, and like the girl on screen. Okay, I'm gonna go with the photo on screen. So he goes to another place when he's married to Lagerda, and like when he's in this other place, he hooks up with that girl on the left, which is like it's fine. But then the girl on the left says, "No, according to a prophecy, you and me are meant to be together," and he sort of yeets her, sort of, but not fully, and goes back home to Lagerda. But then that girl follows him because she's pregnant with his child. And then Ragnar can choose who to pick, and he picks the girl on the left.
Hmm,
And then I started coping.
I see.
Yeah, I'm not gonna even deny. I was coping. I was coping hard, man. I was like, dude. I was like, no, because also the thing with Lagerda too is that she's the girl that plays her is an MMA fighter. So it looks really cool when she fights, and
Wait,
I
she is
mean,
a MMA fighter?
what
IRL?
I think so, or is she just a WWE? The fake one. I don't
I mean,
remember. I know she
I have
does
no idea,
something.
but she does look pretty buff, to be honest.
Yeah, that's also why she's really hot too. And then, but what's
All
funny
right,
is that, like, unironically,
like,
what happens later, which is so great, is that Lagerda essentially cucks Ragnar with an ugly bastard, so it becomes fucking NTR ugly bastard, and then Ragnar gets upset about it, and I'm just like to myself, what? No, you don't get to be upset about that. Like, fuck you. So it was great. It was
I
great.
mean, it
I
doesn't
actually
matter,
liked
right?
it.
You still feel like I'm not gonna talk about this, but you know that people don't really need to have good reasons to feel shit about stuff like that. For
Yeah,
example, your your ex getting with someone else. That's
yeah. But Ragnar
even if
gets really, he gets really like he starts coping too. He sieves and copes and everything. All the Vojacks, that's him.
I see
Even though
the
they have broken
deceiving.
up, she like dumped him, or like the equivalent in that time, which was literally
Yeah,
like "fuck you, I'm leaving," and she took a horse and just left with his son. So like it was like
and I think
super,
that's probably. Can you hear me from here, by the way?
sort of.
Sorry, I had to open the window. Um, can we use this as a segue to go to the main topic that you prepared? Since
Yeah, let's do it
it's
because
sort of,
it's sort of, yeah. But it's funny though, in a way, because I just remember that the ugly bastard actually, like, it's actually the ugly bastard that you are. I actually realized it was sort of like that. It's funny to me. I probably have to, when I upload this to YouTube later, I'll have to probably censor me saying Netorar because I don't know if that's allowed. So, but anyway, yeah. So this
I think I
other,
saw that please do swear words. So yeah.
yeah, no, the curse words is fine, at least as of now. If I was monetized, which is like, it's not gonna happen now anyway, then it's a problem. But otherwise, it's cool.
I mean, if you ever get famous, you're probably gonna delete these videos anyway, because like too much of a hassle to deal with.
No, bro, like,
Just in case you said something wrong or you regret.
no, my Reddit is like already sort of linked. Not super linked, but I'm like, yeah, whatever. They're gonna find some really bad takes from when I was like 18 or 19 or 20. Yeah.
I mean, if I ever get famous, I'm certainly deleting my Reddit because it's over 7 years old, and I actually don't delete my comments, so
Yeah, me neither.
it's probably got a lot of stuff I regret saying there.
Yeah, but yeah,
But
this guy.
so, go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's better if you present the situation
yeah. So what
because you know more
happened
about it.
essentially? Because I did. The issue was that there was more info before, but it has been deleted now. But it was this guy named Joe Kennick, and essentially what happened to him was that one day his wife came to him and said, "Oh, I have been cheating on you, and I'm breaking up with you, getting a divorce." And then I have, like, he thought that it was gonna be amicable at first, but then he just got super railroaded by the fucked up system they have in America. Like, he had to pay her. Like, in the end, he was paying for her lawyers. Like, that's how, like, cucked their system is. And then what happened was, essentially, the story when I jumped into it, started reading, is that so all this happens, he loses his house, he loses full custody, and he has to pay some like ridiculous amount of child support, and he loses his house to her too. And then what happens is that he tries to do a GoFundMe, and then like he tries to go on national television. He does everything like into the wall, and nothing works. And then at the end of it, like, his friend tells him, or like his brother-in-law tells him that, yeah, I mean, because he knew that, he was gonna escape America. And because he wasn't, I mean, he was fucked, because he went to prison too, I think, for not paying up his child support. So he escaped to Bahrain, which is a majority Muslim country. Although Bahrain is very calm in comparison to other Middle Eastern countries. It's very calm and very westernized too. And what happens is that he goes there, right? And then he converts to Islam and is now known as Joseph. Because my point here is that it's so and he was like an atheist before or something. The the system broke him so bad that
Oh
he
wait,
became a
he actually
Muslim.
converted.
Yeah, that's the point. I
Huh.
couldn't find that video, but he had a video on YouTube, right, where he does like a presentation about Islam, like, which is like a part of his before. It's something. It's some sort of certification. You do it for a reason. Like, I don't remember what it's called. Like, it's many religions do it. Like, you show that you understand the holy text, or whatever holy text you're listening to or
Yeah,
prescribing
I
to.
think it's because like there are rules that, for example, people who are not Muslim cannot marry Muslim people, something like that.
Yeah,
I'm
something
not
like
sure
that.
about this, but I think that's one of the some of the reasons why you might want to like get a legal certificate, let's say that you are a Muslim, for example. And I mean, given that they're Muslim countries, there are probably other benefits to being legally a Muslim. But yeah, I think one of the fucked up things that, well, let me play devil's advocate here, because inevitably we're gonna agree on this, right? I think on most of this. So I guess at least one of us should present parts of the argument which are not as strong, let's say. You said that, for example, that the system is so fucked up that he ended up paying for her lawyers, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it works like worldwide, but in Brazil it's the same thing, and I actually think it's a pretty good system normally, because what actually happens is that, say that I want to sue you, right? But I'm actually in the wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and now you have to pay for a lawyer, and um, I'm basically taking money away from you for you to defend yourself. And even if I lose and you win, like the lawyer you're going to pay is probably going to be more money than whatever I'll have to afford to, pay back the problems I caused you just by suing you. So I can actually inflict economic damage on someone just by suing them, and
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the reasons why it's important that the person who loses the court case has to pay the lawyer of the winning person, because since they are at fault, the person who is essentially a victim really shouldn't have to uh, bear the burden of paying for their lawyers, because none of it's their responsibility essentially. And
I, in a way, I see what you mean, but so in
no, let,
Brazil.
let me let me finish the thought, because
Mm-hmm.
I presented the devil's advocate, and I'm just gonna finish up like saying why I don't think it's necessarily applicable, uh, which is the problem in this circumstance is that she won the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she wouldn't have won the case if he could afford lawyers for himself. And I probably right.
Yeah.
Hopefully the system is not so broken that if he had lawyers, he could actually defend himself. But anyway, uh, my point being is that normally, and it's a reasonable assumption, the person who wins the court case is actually in the right? The side of justice is with them. So it's probably a good system to have in place in which the victim is has her like the costs of their defense. What what's the word for it? Replenished. Someone pays the cost of the defense of the victim, and it's probably a good system that the person who pays it is the person who is responsible for the problem with the victim. And so that's a reason why it would make sense for this to be in place. And I think it got wrong not because the system is broken in this circumstance, but because there are other problems which exist, which made the problem isn't that he had to pay for our lawyers. The problem is that he shouldn't have paid for her lawyers because he should have won the case. It's not because it's a bad thing to pay for the lawyers of the victim. I just wanted to make that clear.
Yeah. Sort of. I sort of see. I do see a point. The thing is, like, if someone, because that's still a thing, right? Because I think this might be not abnormal, but I don't understand. So in Brazil, like, if you don't have like a public attorney at all, those doesn't exist.
You do actually.
Okay.
The but I actually am not sure how it works precisely. I think what happens is, and I'm guessing here because even though I have a law degree, I actually don't remember much stuff. Well, that's not exactly true, but
Damn.
you know what I mean, right? I actually haven't
Mm.
worked in the field for a couple of years, and the part I worked at actually didn't deal too much with public defendants. So that's the reason why. And like this part of the like that's not something that people would that you would have to know in a test, so they wouldn't have to study it. So that's part of the reason why I'm not confident that I know the answer. But having said all that, I think what happens is the state pays for the attorney of the person. This I know for sure. The state pays for the attorney or the lawyer of the person, I should say, and the person who wins the court case doesn't have to pay for the lawyer, and the person who loses, even if they are a state lawyer, still has to pay the state, basically what the lawyer would have gained had he been like a private lawyer, essentially. So, but the lawyer doesn't get the money; the state gets the money. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay, I see. No, because
Yeah,
in
it's like a form of reparation for the state for having to afford like the state is basically loaning the money to the person who can't afford the lawyer.
all right, I see. Because the thing is like in because in Sweden, right, we have like public attorneys that like it's similar system, I guess, to you. Like if you're gonna either you know pay out of your own pocket or you get the state one. But the thing is like usually the state ones are really good because I had a lawyer once, right? Because there was this guy. It was a ridiculous situation. It was this guy who like he hadn't been bullying me, but he was like just annoying and just I hated him at in school. And then when I met him years later at a bus, he started like being really tough to me and shit. So we had a fight. Like not a real fight. It was like two dogs growling at each other. That was it. That was all that happened. Nothing else. And then that guy tried to sue me. And then I got a lawyer who had a really Polish name. I
Mm.
remember that. He had the most Polish name and he was really good. And nothing happened to me. Like nothing in the registry, not anything, nada. So, but that's also because we're a much smaller country with a lot of money. So I mean, the state can afford to give you you're a proper lawyer. So it's like
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. I think here's how it is in Brazil. Like at the time I worked at the, I don't know how to convert it into English. Let's say the public court, whatever. I worked there for like 2 years and a half as an
Intern, I
intern,
guess.
and yes, in an internship, and I only dealt with public defendants, state lawyers, basically, for like the last year, maybe the last year, or maybe the last half year, something like that, because the city I was at didn't have a public defendant office, even though it is in the constitution that it has to have one. So what used to happen is that the judge would name a private lawyer, and the lawyer would be rewarded with a fixed rate, and then the judge would demand the state pay the rate of the lawyer, essentially. So the people who were, yeah, the people who were hired
All right.
to defend the people, weren't people who passed the specific public defendant exam, but they were people who did pass the lawyer exam and were real lawyers. And what happened in my experience was that the private lawyers who were named to defend people were like the vast majority did the bare minimum. They just showed up at the hearings. They asked no questions, and then they told I worked at the criminal part, right, not the civil court, let's say. So all they did was tell people to confess essentially, and
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so
that
they would
too.
get like a lower sentence and stuff like that. And or they would say, if you don't want to confess, then don't confess. But like they would not actually do any heavy work. They would just show up at the hearing essentially and get paid for that. And I mean, part of the problem is that there's a fixed rate that you would be paid if you did any job, and you could get paid if you did a particularly good job. But it's sort of arbitrary, and it's at the judge's discretion. So people just didn't put in any effort. And later, it did happen that we did get a public defendant, and they were much better. And they were also like they would fight the prosecutor, let's say, which is something that private lawyers almost never do, because like the public defendant has as much job security, let's say, as the prosecutor, and the private lawyers,
Hmm.
like while they would have job security, like how do I say this? Um, while it would be expected for them to face the prosecution as if they were equals, most of the private lawyers actually acted as if they were beneath the prosecution. So
Okay.
the public defendant also had I don't know how to explain it. Like they were on the same level as the prosecution, and that was important. The problem was that even though they were let's say well trained and better than the private lawyers, like most of the private lawyers, right? Because there were a few private lawyers which were really good. Even though they were better, like the woman who I worked with, which was the public defendant, like there was so many cases that she had to work on, that she basically had no time to give attention to most of them. So even though she was good,
Hmm.
like she wasn't like 10 people, she was one. So uh, the previous system turned out to be not that bad, just because the new system was so understaffed in comparison. So I just told this to give you some perspective on the difference between your experience in Sweden with how it happens in Brazil, because and I think it's probably I mean I can't say for sure because I haven't been in many places elsewhere, but I think my experience was actually amongst the better ones in Brazil. I think.
Hmm. No, no,
Yeah, I had to give some perspective. I
no, no,
was
no.
way like I'm sorry, I spoke for so long and there wasn't like this big point. I just wanted to.
It's fine.
I
It's
certainly do not think that I was gonna be speaking for so long.
no. We got some insight into the Brazilian law system.
Yeah, I wanted
That
to give some perspective because you sort of presented some curiosity about it, but
yeah, yeah, I was interested in it, so it's fine, man. It's all good. But to circle back to that poor dude, like I don't even know if he ever got to see his family again, like his kids, because what
I
the
was
because what the
I was
woman did.
very
What did you say?
I was very interested because the source you cited was basically like a forum,
Yeah, it's red
like
pill,
a
I know, but I
a
have already
forum.
seen the real documents, so I know in this case they were actually true to the word.
No, yeah, that's good. But is there more information other than what you sent me? Do you know?
So the issue is that there was this YouTube video where he was talking himself, Joe Kennick, right? and he told his side of the story, and it was really fucking heartbreaking to hear him speak, because he said like, yeah, I haven't seen my kids in like 4 years or 5 years or something. And because what happened was that after that whole law thing happened, she sold the house, changed the kids' names and her name, and just left. So I mean, and then the thing is like that judge that presided over his case, he was gonna be subpoenaed, right? Like that they were gonna, what is it called? Not subpoenaed, but it's like when they're gonna, what is it called? Purge, whatever it was called that Trump got. You know, when they impeached. Yes, that judge was about to get impeached.
Impeachment.
Yeah, but even then he refused to back down from his rulings because he was so bad, this judge. So in this case, it was also the judge that was so fucking trash. And also,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the comments, like YouTube comments, and this I don't know if it's real, so just remember that. But apparently, where they lived in New Hampshire has like some of the worst, family laws in that country, because they're so one-sided. I mean,
Mhm.
the fact that he lost everything it is heartbreaking, because like he didn't seem to be a bad person, and like he had to escape, because otherwise he was fucked, like completely fucked. It was either getting completely fucked or escaping.
Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna, I might as well put someone. And I'm going on a tangent. I think, but whatever. This one is probably short. In Brazil, where I worked, like the judge did not like. There's this principle, I guess, in law, which is innocent until proven guilty, right? And the idea
Mm-hmm.
is that if the state cannot prove that you are guilty, then you must be considered innocent. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason is to, well, first, it's almost impossible to prove a negative. So it's almost impossible to prove that you did not commit a crime. So it's much easier to prove that someone did commit a crime if they did it than it is to prove that someone didn't commit a crime if they did not do it. And another reason is simply that it's way too much governmental power if there's like a disparity in the power of an individual and the power of the government. So the government is much more well equipped to prove that someone committed a crime than you are to defend yourself from the government accusing you.
No, I
So,
get it.
yeah, it's just better to have that protection for the individual. And there are systems in the world which don't really operate by that. Uh, it's essentially a recent invention, I think. Recent in historic terms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think in Japan, for example, you basically have to prove your innocence. And I'm not sure if they admit that, if it's like, or if it's like an open secret where everybody knows it, but they don't admit it. But
Um,
anyway, in
family
Brazil,
laws are fucked over there, like completely fucked. I remember, what is it? They have like divorces, I think, in Japan, but like child custody, if you're a guy, no, not gonna happen. Like, just good luck with that.
yeah, yeah. It's let's call the patriarchy, right? It's the downside, let's call it, of the male downside to gender roles, which is, well,
Exactly.
if women are meant to raise children and you want to raise children but you're a man, well, good luck. You can't. That's not your role. And well, anyway, going back to what I was saying about Brazil. So there is this principle in Brazil, which is the presumption of innocence, and it's a very powerful principle in all of law, right? In all of the world, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
except like the exceptions I mentioned. But the place I worked at, which was like the judge was kind of, I don't know, very progressive for Brazilian standards, let's say. And what happened is like, how do I say this? Like there was a big incident in Brazil where, because Brazil has a lot of domestic violence, right? And
Mm-hmm.
women are the power dynamic in the household, especially when it comes to physical power, is very tilted towards men, because men are more physically powerful than women, and men are also more violent than women on average. And that means
Mm-hmm.
that the victims of domestic violence are disproportionately female. And there was an iconic case in Brazil called the Maria da Penha case, which triggered like a movement which eventually turned into a law, which gave women who reported men certain protections before there was any proof of guilt. So if a woman
Mm-hmm.
reported her partner, for example, the partner would have to leave their home immediately, essentially, within 24 hours, basically. And if she asked the judge, she would have for a certain period of time, like what do they call it? Like a distancing order. Like you can't approach the person,
Restraining order.
restraining order. That's correct. And a bunch of other stuff, like you can't call her, you can't go close to her family, that kind of thing. And
But what if you have children?
yeah, what if you have children? That's a problem. But one of the things that they do if you have children is that you get to visit them under certain circumstances, which is, and the mother has to comply with the directions that the judge has, which usually is like you will bring the children like to a certain place, and the person will be there in the for that
That's so
for that
fucked.
moment. Yeah, for that moment, the person will be allowed to be near the partner, essentially. Anyway, this doesn't require any proof of guilt. It only requires the word of the woman, right? Now, until here, like this is
Mm-hmm.
common practice all over Brazil, right? This happens everywhere. And so that's not even the
Okay.
fucked up part, let's say. Now, here's the thing. In the place I worked at, let's say that the woman claimed the man threatened her, right? He said, I don't know, I'm gonna kill you,
All
like
right.
that, right? That's a crime, threatening someone
Mm-hmm.
of serious harm or threat of death. And so there's the period that the person has, those, the restraining order and stuff, and then there's the judgment. I'm not sure if it's called a judgment, but let's say it's a judgment. Like there's judgment day, whatever. And let's say there's not enough proof that that her partner did threaten her. What the judge I worked with would do is that if at the police station the woman said that the person threatened her, and in front of the judge the woman would repeat that and say, yeah, he did threaten me, he would consider that enough evidence, even against the person's word, the accused. If the accused denied it, said he was innocent, even if it was like word against word, he would value the victim's word, the self-declared victim's word, over the
Oh.
person being. Yeah. And so even though presumption of innocence is so important, in this particular case, when there's not enough evidence, as long as the word of the victim is consistent, he would say that that's enough evidence to convict the accused. And so usually that's not so bad, right? Because um, for example, I don't know what's the word for it. The penalty, the fine, no, like the person essentially would have no jail time if it was their first transgression against the law, right?
Mm-hmm.
Usually that's not so bad, but and this is not something that I have personally. Oh, there was one circumstance, but I won't talk about it because it's too long a story. But if, for example, it was the same thing, but the crime instead of say threatening was the woman accused the man of rape, what would happen is that even if there was no proof, essentially, the judge would take the same consideration. If the victim was consistent um, in the police station and in the her hearing at court, and it was just word against word, it was also enough to convict the partner, or even if it
Damn.
wasn't a partner. Yeah, and so in that case, rape, of course, it's a jail. Like the person would go to jail, and so that's
All right.
another in which you can see an imbalance in the law. Now,
The the issue
I'm not
here.
sure if that happens anywhere else in the world. And just so I just like the last thing I'm gonna say about this, I told this to my teacher. Uh, he was a pretty young guy and quite popular, I think, with the ladies because he was handsome, and he actually could not believe me, even though it was true. And he was a teacher at a law school essentially.
And
So
he didn't know
it's
the
kind of,
law. Okay.
yeah, no, because like he taught tax laws essentially. So
Oh, okay.
this specific criminal part, like people, the part of the criminal law that's taught at university is very, I don't know, it's idyllic, it's abstract. So it's only when you get to the actual cases that you see how much different it is from what is supposed to be and how it is in actuality. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. So no, that's fucked. So let me close
Yeah,
off.
it's pretty fucked.
Like so, let me so let me close off with, because I have told you and Rusty this before, but it uh, it's strange, right? Because how I see it, and when I hear what you're saying, is that this is, again, I agree it's a fucked law, and I'm not trying to pin blame on any gender or anything. I understand it's a fucked law. I concede that. The issue, right, is if you have a society or a certain laws that favors one side, then these things happen, because then the pendulum swings the fuck to the other side. For example, right, in Sweden, as I said, our laws when dealing with sex crimes and violent crimes in general are so bad towards the victim that I know that these sort of thing, either what happens is that something really bad happens, like, I don't know, civil war, I don't know, or like that the pendulum will swing so far onto the other side that it's insane. Because I mean, as I said, like, if you're a woman and you got sexually assaulted in Sweden, well, good luck getting justice. It's good luck. No, nothing's gonna happen. Like, or even if the guy gets convicted, he's gonna get freed by the high court, because, as I told you, it's filled with sexist boomers. Like, everyone in Sweden knows this. Like, so the normal, like, state courts, or like, it's called landskap in Sweden, but it's states essentially. The state courts are fine most of the time. Like, they're fine, but the high court, or the royal court that it's called here, it's actually called a royal court, as you know, we're a constitutional monarchy. Like, they are so, as I said, there's sexist boomers. There's no way around it. And the issue then is that, I mean, then the laws are like starting to could get really ridiculous. For example, they passed a law some years ago that it's like, I see, it's like something that shouldn't even have to be a law. It's called samtyckeslagen. It's like, what is it? Consent law, I guess, is what it's called in if I translate it word for word. And essentially, what it says is that it's something like this, right? That if you yes, so you have to have informed consent whilst you're having sex, right? So let's say
Yes.
like a girl is, let's say she's doing it to a guy, like they are, going at it, and then the girl notices that the guy is sort of like going, like he's not into it. If she doesn't stop immediately and asks, "Hey, are you okay? Hey, do you still want to do this?" or stuff like this, it's like I saw the chat. That's great. That's fucking great. But anyway, to cut it short, right? Like if she continues without the guy saying yes, it's fine, then she can go to jail over rape. That's what I meant. That's a consent
Yeah,
law.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think that's still better than the alternative. You know, because I think you're listing an extreme example, but the problem is that your voice is
Extreme,
echoing.
extreme,
His
extreme.
voice is echoing.
Does he know whose voice is whose?
He said your voice is echoing. I'm not sure about this. Hopefully, it's not on the recording.
All
It's
right.
only on the stream.
But let me just cut in really short. Like, I know it's an extreme example, but it is our law. Like, it's in the law. But the thing is, like, it shouldn't be there. Like, don't people already know this stuff? Like, but I don't know. Maybe maybe it was technically legal or a loophole or something. Who
No,
knows?
here's the thing, right? The problem is that creating laws about this stuff is really difficult because it's not exactly something that's so simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like people to treat consent as if it's a contract, but a contract is very binary, and consent it's more like a
Mm.
gradient, I think, in the sense that a lot of what's being said by people is not verbal. It's actually what do people call it? Like it's not uh, gesture,
Car alarm
whatever.
in the
It's
background,
non.
by the way. Continue.
Yeah, yeah. It's not a fucking car alarm. It's a fucking house alarm, actually. But give me a second. I'm gonna close the window so the noise is less.
Welcome to Brasilia.
I mean, the fucking alarm is just trigger here for no reason. It's a common occurrence. But anyway, as I was saying, like you can't expect the dating scene to become, hey, can I kiss you now? And hey, would you like to have sex with me? Because that's just not gonna happen. Like it's an immediate turnoff for people to be that verbal about something which is intimate in nature. Like there is a sense of like it's contextual. You sort of have to know what the other person, if the other person is into it. So even though the example you gave of the woman noticing that the guy is not into it is like it might seem like a bad practice. It's still better than her having to ask every 5 seconds, "Hey, can we keep having sex? Are you still enjoying this?" And him have to answer, "Yeah, I like this," so that they can continue, right?
No, I
So
agree.
it's
It's
dumb,
yeah,
but
it's
it's less dumb than the alternative, I think.
no. The thing is also with that, right? Is what you're saying is correct. I mean, literally. I mean, when you're with someone like that, like with in an intimate setting or whatever you want to call it, right? It's you're. I mean, you can't still ask, is this or that okay? But you can ask it in
No, for
such a way
sure,
that
for
it
sure.
fits the mood. But the issue then is what you also are saying there is that what if you say the wrong thing, and even though the person you're with understands you, since you didn't say the correct thing, they can take you to court over it. Like, and let
Yeah,
me be clear, it's not just men that gets caught in this. I've heard of plenty of women too who got accused of rape because they didn't say or ask the right thing or something. Like they're fucked.
Yeah, I don't think it's a gender problem in this case. Although it's probably worse for men because there's like, you know, sort of what would you call it? A just prejudice. I mean, like men are more aggressive and are obviously
Hmm.
more likely to commit a sexual assault. So there is a reason for you to suspect a man over a woman when in regard to sexual assault. But still, it's not a gender problem. Women will also have problems with this. And I think that what did I think of? Fuck, I completely forgot. Sorry. Can you go back to what you were saying? Because I just forgot what I was going to say.
Okay,
A
so
bit.
do you have a paper, like a document open in front of you? Because then I can actually say my last part and then you can say that and then we can end the stream because I kind of have to head out. So just so you can,
Uh,
document it in the document so you have it. So you don't forget it again after I'm done talking. Uh,
sure. Just open this.
yeah. But yeah, essentially what happened, right, was that, this was years ago on fucking, what is it called, on Reddit, and there was this guy I got in an argument with, and he said, "Oh no, like staring too long on a girl is like," he almost said like something like sexual assault or like that it's bad. I'm like, what? And he kept like saying, "Oh no, it's like, no, it's bad." And I said, "All right, what counts as creepy?" And he said like, "If it's a glance, it's not creepy." And then I said, "What do you mean with glance then?" And then he looked up and said, "Oh, look, it's here in the dictionary. It's 2 seconds." And then I asked him, "So you mean I have to consult a goddamn fucking dictionary every time I'm gonna stare at someone?" And he said, "Oh, no, 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 no," And then I said, I got so tired at this dude. I said, "You know what? I concede. If I look at I just have a question though. If my girlfriend stares at my ass, is that sexual assault? If she like pinches it, is that also sexual assault? How about if we're having sex? Like, is that also by automation, by your stupid fucking logic, sexual assault because I looked at her boobs for too long?" And he was like, he had a epic Sojak meltdown. It was like full fucking Sojak meltdown he had at me. It was a waste of my time, but Jesus fucking Christ, that guy triggered me.
yeah, I mean, that's why I try to keep away from internet arguments. What I do right now, like, because I am very argumentative by nature, I'm kind of stubborn and disagreeable, and I like arguing, or I used to like arguing at least. I still sort of provoke arguments right now, but I actually don't finish them anymore. I just like give enough information that people can sort of see what I try to where I'm coming from, and then I can just disable inbox replies, and I don't care about the argument anymore. But what I was gonna say, which I had forgotten, is that there's also the circumstance that like women will often complain that men aren't assertive enough, and they think it means that they lack interest in them. Uh, Even though the man just wants to be respectful, like the women will take their lack of like they're not making enough moves, they're not making moves fast enough, etc., as a sign of not being attracted, and that's fair, right? Because someone who was very attracted to you would probably make more moves. So there's also the fact that if you try to be respectful to someone who is expecting you to make a move, you will actually, shoot yourself in the foot. And like
No, I
it's not
agree.
easy to try with an universal rule that applies to every case when actually people are different and how they want to be treated is different and what they expect of you is different. So it has to be a case by case basis analysis. And like you can't just expect people to, like Honey said, sign a contract or, you know, be that legal and bureaucratic bureaucratic about sex, because it's not like
No, I get it.
it's not
It's
something that normal circumstances the law should not even come close to an intimate relationship. It's only when things go wrong that the law should have any say on this, right?
yeah. No, the thing I will say lastly, like, cause I agree with you with that like bringing bureaucracy into the bedroom. Yay, everyone is sharing, right? Because I remember there was this one girl, right? I'm gonna be really careful not mentioning her name, even though I am. She might have a OnlyFans now, though. It wouldn't surprise me with this girl. She was very like not erratic. That was the word. Like not anything else, just erratic. So she feels like kind of. I don't know if you know this person, but there's this girl called Ariella Scordaglio or something. She's like a lesbian feminist something, and she's sort of like that girl, like very erratic. So she's not like what is it? It sounds okay. I'm not trying to imply she's like a loose woman or something. She's not this girl. She's just very erratic. She'll be the type of person like, yeah, I will sell pictures of my like ass for like $50. Why not? Like like that. She's like very erratic that way. Anyway, this girl, right? Me and her, we were like friends, and we were like flirting with each other, sort of. But I mean, I was into her, right? And then we were at a party, and we were like leaving, and then she kind of like, I mean, she like pats my ass or something, and then I was like, I didn't mind it, right? But the point here is like, if someone else saw that, will she now go to jail? But I liked it. But then again, how the other person like and her like it's this whole system, it just doesn't fucking work. Like this fucking what is it? Bring the bureaucracy in, because my fear is like if other people start meddling in it, which they should, of course. Like if someone is getting abused or something, like hit, and like it's obvious. Okay, this girl is like in a or guy, of course, in this abusive relationship. Okay, now I am the Brazilian. Cause did you hear the dog? Do you hear the dog outside barking? I am the
Yeah, actually.
yeah, I am the Brazilian now. I'm sorry for letting you down, Neo.
Yeah.
But point here being that I get it, and I don't see a solution. I am just dumbfounded. I don't know how to solve it, because I mean it just must suck like being a dude like who's in their younger 20s, because we are in the mid to later 20s, so we kind of we already been in in this world before it got so fucked.
Yeah.
So we had our
Yes.
time to kind of figure out stuff like, oh, this is okay, this is not okay. Like, oh, this is appropriate to ask, this is not appropriate to ask. Now,
You know who I feel pity for?
huh?
Like, you know who I feel pity for? Like, people who
Beady.
pity
Pity. Okay, continue.
with a P.
No. You
I
said
feel.
it. You're saying it in a Latin accent, so it's Swedish and everything. But I understand pity.
Oh, I see.
Who you feel pity for?
Yeah,
Continue.
for people who cannot read social cues, like people who
Oh yeah.
on
Oh yeah.
4chan,
It's oh
people
fuck me. Yeah.
say autistic, but it's not really autistic. It's more like oh, autism is actually part of it, right? I mean, one of the symptoms of autism is not being able to read social cues. But people who cannot read social cues don't necessarily have autism. Regardless, what I mean is people who cannot read social cues basically are fucked when it comes to dating. Because how the fuck are they supposed to be able to flirt and you know just understand how someone is taking them
And there's people
without
older
them
than us that
actually?
don't get this. That's
Yeah,
what's heartbreaking. Like some of the garbage I hear, like for like who are older, like who don't get this. I'm just reading it like online and shit. I'm just wishing this is a troll from 4chan, like some clever 4chan troll. Because like imagine like the story I told you about. Like I mean now, if I take a kid now, or like someone who would be the same age I was 24 or 23 at the time when I got my ass patted like that. Like a kid, let's say it's a zoomer now, like someone who's 17. Okay, fast forward to then. He's my age with the same type of girl who's into him, and this girl pats his ass. He's not gonna get it. He's not gonna get it. He's gonna be like, that's kind of inappropriate that you patted my ass. Like, that's what he's gonna say, because he's gonna be a retard. Then again, if he doesn't like that, fine, I get it. Of course, if he's not into that, because this girl, as I said, she was erratic. She was kind of, upfront, but she also knew that I was fine with it, if that makes sense. So of course I'm not saying, like, if you're not that type of guy who doesn't like that, of course she can fuck off, right, with that shit. But with me it was fine. My point here is that you see my point anyway.
Yes. And as for Ani, what he's saying on chat, I mean, first, I don't think that the comparison is warranted with murderers, because a criminal, like a murderer, knows that he is causing harm. He's completely conscious of it. But someone who is just trying to make an advance on a person might not know it. And secondarily, I'm not trying to justify them. I'm just saying that they are beautiful. Like, it's like a deficiency. Like they have a lack. Like, there's something about psychology that we consider healthy that they do not have. Like, it's a skill which is missing, and for some people it cannot even be trained. So, like, it's obviously pitiful. Like, if you don't feel pity for people who cannot read social cues and are gonna just hit their head on the wall every time they try to interact with people, like, I mean, you're just heartless, I think, because I'm pretty heartless and I still feel pitiful about those people. And yeah, that's what I think, Ani. Like, it's not the same.
Yeah, I think it's just a misunderstanding between you two what you meant with pity. Because, I mean, you meant like, oh, I feel bad for this person, but and I really need to go, right? But let me just finish this one point. Yeah, but
I'll just, since you mentioned this, like, usually, how long are we supposed to speak for?
Like 2 hours. Between 2 and 3 hours.
We're just on time then.
Yeah, between 2 and 3 hours. It's fine. But anyway, yeah, yes, just to elaborate what I meant is, right, because I understand you too. Like, I mean, let's say, for example, there's a difference between, let's take a guy, because we were talking about them. A guy who can't read social cues, and he sees a girl, and let's say she's on her phone, right? And you go up to this girl, right? This let's call him August. Like, August, this guy, he's a complete, doesn't know how to talk to girls. He goes up to this girl and says, hi, how are you? Like that. And the girl kind of looks at him and goes like, and then kind of returns to her phone. What did he say?
Why is your impression of the person who can talk to girls so convincing?
Anyway, this August, right? Okay. In this case, sure, I would feel pity for him. And, but let's say we change it up a little. Let's say August goes up and like, like that. It goes like, that nice titties, can I squeeze them? Then I would not feel bad for this person. I would not feel pity for August at that time. And when he gets slapped,
Yes, I would hope that he would be slapped. And that maybe he would
unless they were really nice tits, am I right? I'm sorry. I used that too.
Maybe she was into it. I don't know.
I mean, I told you about this girl right now, so
I mean, like, I'm not saying that actions don't have consequences. I'm certainly like, yeah, I agree with you completely. I think that obviously he should be like, he should learn his lesson, and that yeah, a slap is probably pretty cheap for making a sexual.
Okay, it shouldn't be assaulted, fine. But if she says "fuck off," let's change the example. She says "fuck off" instead.
Yeah, and I think that
yeah, he shouldn't get slapped for saying that someone has nice tits. I agree. But if someone says "fuck off," or let's say her
No. What I
boyfriend
mean
shows
is
up
that
like in imposing, then fine.
like going back to the legal stuff, I think that the best like let's say universal rule is uh, something like what you described in Sweden actually, which you actually made fun of, which is, well, if they say no or stop or any there is any rejection to an advance, then you have no more excuses to continue advancing, basically.
Hmm.
So there's sort of like a presumption of innocence, right? Like until you say to me no, or even like an excuse, right? You ask for the phone number and she says, or she gives you like a fake phone number, and then you call it and see that it's fake, and you say, okay, give me your real phone number. Like that's not okay. It's obvious that she gave you the fake number because she doesn't want you to actually have her phone number. So at some point there's like you gotta take a hint, and I think that's probably the best universal rule. As soon as there's any iota of a rejection, you have to move on. It's too late. Let's say, which is also why I fucking hate, like, on Twitter. Sometimes you see like a tweet of a woman complaining, like she said no, I don't like you or something like that, and then she complains that he gave up because she expected him to chase her.
Yes.
I think that's so fucked up, dude. Like I fucking hate that. Like, what do you expect, man? Like,
No, I get
you
it.
expect them to not accept your no? It's like, what kind of man do you want in your life
Hmm.
that you are trying to, like, you're demanding that they don't accept no?
Exactly. But as I said, right, I really need to get the hell out of there. But I did listen to you, and I agree that's annoying because
Yes, yes.
I've been in those situations before, right, where the girl's like, "Oh, why didn't you try harder?" Like, "Oh, it was this one. I'm gonna save for next time." But then you
Yeah, it's
have,
fair. Like, if you have to, like, there's no reason.
yeah. But let me just. It was fun as always, Neo. So let's do this again next week, as usual. But
Did the recording go well? Did it work?
yeah, it did. I know it will.
Okay, great.
But yeah, that's it.
Because
I will just.
we had to
What do you say?
restart the stream because there was a crash on OBS for a second. So
Yeah,
thankfully
bye,
we will
Annie.
have a recording
But
which is independent.
yeah, I will just mention this. Like, what I will do with the YouTube video, the only hard editing I will do, because I have the shell now, the base, right? That's what I'm gonna keep using. Is
Yeah.
that I will just edit like in the background things that we're talking about, like not all the time, but just like general topics, right? So, for example, with me talking about feet last time,
Yeah.
it's still fucking disgusting that these people exist out there. But I will just, if I did that now, I would have edited like a foot picture on the background. But yeah, I'm also gonna send. Like, damn it, let me give this guy what he wants. Give me a second. I'm just gonna. Give me a
Oh, you're
second.
gonna link your
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah.
channel.
Let me just. Give me a second, Annie. I will just send you the last stream.
Also, when the video is up, when this recording is up, link it to me because I wanna listen to it again because that was actually a pretty fun conversation we had.
Yeah, last time. Yeah, it was last time. But like, it was also because as I said, like, you never know where these are gonna go. But yeah, I'm gonna tuck tail. Was I talking to you, man? Take care.
Yeah, Gareth. I guess see you next Thursday.
Yeah, first day around this time. Yeah. Take care.
All right, see ya.